Learn how this Atlanta school district is implementing a curriculum coined as SEL 2.0. What is going on? Welcome to This Week in Education, where we highlight innovative trends, educators, and districts who are building future-forward schools that develop the whole child. I'm your host, EJ Carrion, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell as we share comprehensive videos on emerging trends that impact our industry as educators. Now, we could argue that if the history of America started in 2020, Atlanta is the city that would be at the center of our nation's story. Atlanta is the headquarters of the CDC, who is leading us through a pandemic and the process of reopening our nation's schools and economy. Atlanta is leading us through a racial awakening stemming from police killings of Black Americans and hate crimes against Asian Americans. Atlanta showed us the fight against voter suppression, how to produce record-breaking voter turnout to turn the state of Georgia blue. Atlanta is a city with historical evidence of inequality, suppression, and generational trauma, which only makes sense why it's becoming the city that brings us compassion and ethics in our curriculum for K-12 and higher education. In this episode, I speak with Dianne, Acuna, Andree, and Ben Knaebel, two district educators at City Schools of Decatur, an independent public school district east downtown Atlanta. After their students and community experienced a historical year of trauma, Dianne and Ben wanted to accelerate their plans of implementing an SEL curriculum in their district at scale. The challenge was not just finding curriculum, but also implementing an SEL program during remote learning.
I'm Dianne Acuna Andree. I am the Student Success Coordinator for the City Schools of Decatur. I do support for the school counseling program, our wraparound services, which we refer to as the Decatur Student Center, and have been involved with the social emotional learning plans.
My name is Ben Knaebel. I'm the coordinator of school psychology in Section 504 for the City Schools of Decatur. And then also I've been working on the social emotional learning program implementation for the district as well. And then also working with kids with special needs.
Dianne and Ben did not have to look far as they became early adopters of SEL Learning, which stands for Social, Emotional, and Ethical Learning, which is a new K-12 education program that began in 1998 between Emory University in Atlanta and the Dalai Lama.
My background being in school counseling, and I have 25 years in education, and I've worked in rural and suburban and now in urban district. The needs are, around social emotional learning, I feel like are the same. And my preference in doing work with school counseling and intervention type work is to be on the prevention end of it. And while I always know that an intervention is needed, I really prefer to be on the prevention end. And as Ben said, we had already been talking about this and what were we going to do and what was it going to look like? And we were talking about SEL Learning specifically. And then when the pandemic came along, we knew that we needed to really jump into action and speed up our timeline. And it's been a unique opportunity for us. I know Ben and I have enjoyed collaborating, and it's been definitely a challenge, but a welcomed one because the SEL Learning program was actually designed to be done within the classroom setting. And of course, we had to not only get people trained in doing this, but we had to convert it to an online program. But we were preparing initially because we didn't know what our year was going to look like this year. So we were preparing for in-person or online. And then when we got the call that it was going to be virtual, then we really shifted up that work. But I will say that it's definitely been a pleasure. We knew that our students needed this resilience work. And also we said nobody is coming out of this pandemic unscathed, whether it's just that you feel more isolated, but there's, for a lot of families, there has been a huge change in financial situations, in housing, in, food shortage where there might not have been before, concerns obviously about, medical reasons. So, we knew that everybody was going to need some type of resilience work. And this was just a perfect fit for mine and Ben's mindset and our district. We're so blessed to have the backing of a school system that really looks at this.
Guided by a shared vision for an education of heart and mind, the SEL Learning program conveys a universal, non-sectarian, and science-based approach to bringing the ethical development of the whole child into education, an approach long advocated by the Dalai Lama. SEL Learning provides educators with a comprehensive framework for the cultivation of social, emotional, and ethical competencies and age-specific curriculum comprised of easily implemented lessons. They also provide educational support for educators from certifications and professional development.
SEL Learning came from Emory University Center for Contemplative Sciences and Compassion-Based Ethics. So it's really a program based in compassion, and it really came from the work around teaching compassion to adults. So cognitive compassion training, teaching adults how to be more self-compassionate and compassionate to others. So that's really the foundation of the program. And then what Emory University did is they looked at making this program for children, right? How do we teach the same skills that we're teaching adults to children? And so really there's three main goals within the program. It's increasing awareness, so awareness of yourself, awareness of others, and awareness of the world around you. Increasing compassion for yourself, compassion for others, and compassion for the systems around you, and then increasing engagement. So really looking at self-engagement, that self-regulation, increasing engagement with others, positive relationship skills and communication, and then in creating engagement with the community around you. And we felt like this was
SEL Learning enhances SEL programming with key additional components including attention training, compassion and ethical discernment, systems thinking, and resilience and trauma-informed practices. These enhancements prompted Dr. Daniel Goldman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, to refer to SEL Learning as SEL 2.0.
A lot of other social emotional programs don't have that ethical piece where you're really looking at, the common humanity, the interdependence, looking at systems and how your system is interdependent upon not only the students in the school, but the school within the community within the city, how your actions impact the broader system in which you live. I think that's what makes this program a little bit different. And what it really does well is it overlaps with a lot of the frameworks we have in our instructional framework, specifically the International Baccalaureate program. When you're thinking about your senior projects or your community projects, you're building that ideology from a very young age is that I'm a part of a greater system. What I do to others, what I do to myself, or what do I do to others impacts the entire system. So I think it's that SEL in a broader range. A lot of SEL is inner and sometimes a little bit of inner with a little bit of other. This one is inner, other, and then outer. It's looking at all three of those systems and how they interact.
After 2 decades of collaboration with scientists and educators, Emory University began offering SEL Learning educator preparation workshops in 2017. They started in Atlanta and quickly moved around the world so their SEL Learning team members could get feedback on the curriculum they were developing from their constituents. The global launch of SEL Learning took place April 4th through 6, 2019 in New Delhi, India, with His Holiness the Dalai Lama presiding over the event. It was co-hosted by Emory University, the Dalai Lama Trust, and Divana Foundation. More than 1,200 people from 37 countries attended the event. Today, educators like Dianne and Ben are scaling and embedding the SEL Learning curriculum in their districts across all grade levels and schools, with not only aligning with the basic tenets of SEL, but also teaching the resilience and compassion skills needed in order to heal from the 2020-2021 challenges.
The fact that it's free is really helpful for lots of school districts, and really it's a small investment in time, depending to what degree you want to get involved. I mean, we had some pretty intense trainings that we did, but you can get access to that curriculum by doing the orientation online, and then you can see how it fits.
SEL Learning is free when you sign up for the training and has great lessons for small groups, even if you're not ready to go district-wide. Expect the training to take about 2 hours, but once you complete it, you get access to the SEL Learning curriculum, which is comprised of 30, 40-minute long learning experiences divided into 8 chapters, covering the personal, social, and systems domains. You can sign up for the materials and learn more in the description below. If you felt like this information was helpful, please subscribe and share with colleagues as we highlight educators, trends, and districts every week who are doing meaningful work. In the meantime, keep changing the world.